Welcome to Public Health Brief. What if everything you thought you knew about the wild was wrong? Beyond the surface of survival and struggle lies a hidden world filled with balance, silent wisdom, and a kind of peace most humans have forgotten. In this video, we uncover the untold secrets of the wild you've never seen before, where life moves with purpose, fear doesn't control existence, and every moment is lived with a quiet sense of gratitude. Stay with us, because what you're about to discover may completely change the way you see nature, and yourself. Long before cities rose and roads divided the earth into neat, controlled lines, there was only the wild, vast, breathing, and endlessly alive. The story of the wild is not written in books or carved in stone, it is whispered through rustling leaves, carried by the wind across open plains, and reflected in the quiet gaze of creatures that have never known human rules. It is a history older than memory, deeper than time itself. And yet, despite all our knowledge, there are secrets within it that remain unseen, unfelt, and often misunderstood. To understand the wild is to travel backward, not forward. It is to return to a time when life moved with the rhythm of the sun and the pulse of the earth. In those ancient beginnings, survival was not a struggle filled with fear as we often imagine it today. It was a balance, a quiet agreement between life and the forces that shaped it. Every movement had purpose, every sound carried meaning, and every being, no matter how small, had a place in the great unfolding of existence. There is a belief among many who observe the wild from a distance that it is cruel, chaotic, and unforgiving. But this belief comes from misunderstanding. What appears to be harshness is often harmony seen through human eyes that are unfamiliar with natural law. In truth, the wild is guided by a kind of wisdom that does not need words. It does not rush, it does not regret, and it does not resist what must be. It simply flows. One of the greatest secrets of the wild is this. There is no anxiety about tomorrow. Life unfolds moment by moment, and each creature lives fully within that moment. There is no overthinking, no endless worrying about what might happen next. Hunger comes, and it is answered. Rest is needed, and it is taken without guilt. Danger appears, and it is met with clarity, not panic. And when the moment passes, it is gone completely. Nothing is carried forward unnecessarily. This way of living may seem simple, but it is profoundly powerful. Imagine a life without the constant weight of fear about the future or regret about the past. Imagine existing in a state where each second is complete in itself. This is the natural state of the wild. It is not something learned, it is something remembered, something that has always been there. If we look deeper, we begin to see that the wild is not only about survival, it is also about quiet joy. There is a kind of happiness in the way life moves freely, without restriction or artificial pressure. It is not the loud, excited happiness that humans often chase, but something softer, steadier, and more real. It is the happiness of simply being. You can see it in the stillness of a resting body, in the gentle movement across open land, in the way life continues without hesitation or doubt. It is as if everything in the wild lives with an unspoken gratitude, thankful not in words, but in existence itself. Every breath, every step, every heartbeat is an expression of that gratitude. This is why, in a way that is difficult to explain, the wild is always at peace. Even in moments of tension or action, there is no chaos beneath the surface. There is only the unfolding of what must be. Nothing is taken personally, nothing is resisted beyond necessity. When something ends, it ends completely. When something begins, it begins without hesitation. Another hidden truth of the wild is how deeply everything is connected. There are no isolated lives. Every movement affects something else, every action ripples outward in ways that cannot always be seen. The ground, the air, the water, and all living beings exist in a shared conversation that never stops. It is a conversation without language, yet it is understood perfectly. This connection creates balance. It ensures that nothing grows beyond its place and nothing disappears without reason. It is not controlled by a central force or a set of rules written down somewhere. It simply is. And because of this, the wild does not collapse under its own weight. It adjusts, adapts, and continues. There is also a quiet strength in the way life in the wild accepts change. Seasons shift, landscapes transform, and conditions evolve, but there is no resistance to these changes. Life does not cling to what was, it moves forward with what is. This ability to adapt without fear is one of the most powerful secrets hidden in nature. Humans often struggle with change. We hold on to the past, we fear the unknown, and we try to control outcomes that cannot truly be controlled. But the wild shows a different way. It shows that change is not something to fight against, but something to move with. It shows that life does not lose meaning when it changes, it simply takes on a new form. There is also something deeply spiritual about the wild, though it does not follow any religion or belief system. It is spiritual in the sense that it is connected to something greater than individual existence. Every living thing is part of a larger whole, and that whole continues regardless of individual outcomes. In this sense, the wild is always giving thanks not through words or rituals, but through existence itself. To live is to participate, and to participate is to be part of something sacred. There is no need to prove worth or seek approval. Simply being alive is enough. This idea challenges the way many people think about happiness. In modern life, happiness is often treated as something to achieve, something that requires effort, success, or validation. But in the wild, happiness is not something separate from life. It is woven into life itself. This does not mean there are no difficult moments. There are times of scarcity, moments of tension, and periods of uncertainty. But even these are part of the natural rhythm. They are not seen as failures or problems to be fixed. They are simply phases that pass, like clouds moving across the sky. Because of this, nothing in the wild is truly wasted. Every experience contributes to the balance of the whole. Even endings have purpose. Even silence has meaning. There is a completeness to everything, a sense that nothing is out of place. As we reflect on these truths, it becomes clear that the wild holds lessons that go far beyond nature itself. It offers a mirror, a way of seeing life that is simpler, deeper, and more aligned with what we truly are beneath all the complexity we have created. Perhaps the greatest secret of the wild is not something hidden out there, waiting to be discovered. Perhaps it is something within us, something we have forgotten. A way of being that does not depend on constant thinking, worrying. A way of living that is grounded, present, and quietly joyful. When we observe the wild closely, we are not just learning about nature, we are remembering something about ourselves. We are reconnecting with a rhythm that has always been there, even if we have moved away from it. And in that remembering, something shifts. The noise begins to fade, the pressure begins to lift, and a different kind of understanding takes its place. Not an understanding built on words, but one that is felt deeply and clearly. It is the understanding that life, at its core, is not as complicated as we have made it. It is the understanding that peace does not come from controlling everything, but from being in harmony with what is. And it is the understanding that happiness is not something we need to chase, it is something that naturally arises when we stop running. The wild has always known this. It has always lived this truth, quietly and consistently, without needing recognition. It continues to exist as it always has, free, balanced, and complete. Our conclusion and recommendation are: the wild quietly teaches us that true health and happiness come from balance, simplicity, and living in the present moment. There is no constant stress, no unnecessary pressure, a natural rhythm that keeps life strong, calm, and fulfilled. To improve your health, start small, rest when your body needs it, spend time in nature, move daily, eat natural foods, and let go of unnecessary stress. By following these simple habits, you bring your life closer to the calm, healthy, and happy flow of the wild. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, share, and comment for more inspiring content. Your support helps us bring more powerful nature and health videos to you.